Yeah, you already know what it is. Lethal Talent 24, dive bombing at you with some Eagles content. Let's go. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Lethal Talent 24, coming at you with another video. And yo, guys, Jim Schwartz had a press conference today. He had some intriguing things to say. But before I go over that, I wanted to cover a couple things that have happened in the Eagles organization, right? So, really, Jason Avants was hired as an intern coach at the wide receiver position, right? So he's going to work along with Aaron Moorhead, and I think that's great because Jason Avants, when he was a player with us, man, he was great. You know what I'm saying? He was a consistent route runner, and he was also a great ball catcher, man. He could catch like no others. Even at I think he had two outstanding one-handed catches with the Eagles that I can remember. I know one of them I believe was against Tampa, but I mean that's neither here or there, man. The dude could absolutely play. You know, that he'll be that much of a force in developing these young wide receivers with Aaron Moorhead. So I just wanted to say congratulations to him. Now, a couple other things that have happened. And two former Eagles were signed by two NFC South teams, one being Shady Mccoy. Now, with that, man, I think at this point, McCoy is just done in his career, and he's just ring chasing. Everything was coming out that he was trying to come back to the Eagles, and you know, and just to have a veteran presence really on this team, and you know, that's all well and good, but I really don't see a need for him. I didn't see a need for him on this team then, and I'm glad that he's moved on to Tampa and he's not going to be an Eagle now. Now, I love Shady. Don't get me wrong. I have his jersey. I rock his jersey, man, and I appreciate everything he did as an Eagle. But you got to move on today. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's just, you know, he's just trying to chase another ring, in my opinion. We didn't need him. We got Miles Sanders. He's projected to have a big year this year. You know, he looks strong. He looks explosive. He looks like he's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I can't wait to see what Miles puts out on that field, man. And Boston Scott too. We got these guys. And Shady's more of a finesse runner. We need a bruiser back. And, you know, I believe that Michael Warren or Elijah Holyfield can fill that spot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with them. Shady, good luck to you. Now, Nigel Bradham, however, he was signed by the New Orleans Saints. And Nigel Bradham, man, I just really... Nigel Bradham was, if you don't know, now you gonna know, he was our Mike linebacker, man. He was our run-stopping linebacker, an enforcer in the run game. Now, he wasn't all that great in coverage, you know what I'm saying? And whenever the opportunity presented itself for him to get an interception, he dropped that like it was a hot potato, man. And, you know, that was something that you could definitely knock on his game. But man, when it came to offensive fumbles, he was pretty much always around the ball, man. He was sometimes cash in on interceptions, of course. Don't get me wrong, the Packers game last year, but there was a couple games, like I know 2017 Giants game, ball went right through his hands. 2016, you know, he caught the interception when Jay Cutler threw it. I think it's because it was Jay Cutler, and, you know, I guess other quarterbacks he was allergic to when it came to interceptions, but he definitely was a solid linebacker, though, in all seriousness, man. So the Saints got a solid linebacker, and, you know, congratulations to him. We'll see you sometime this year, man. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, good luck to you, but not that day. You know what I'm saying? Damn all that. Let's go, Birds. Now, Jim Schwartz's press conference, man, he said that D.Slay was going to cover the number one wide receiver on any team that we faced this season, basically. So he was going to move him into the slot if a number one wide receiver moves into the slot, right? So, you know, I'm hearing a couple of people not being cool with that. But I'm going to just share with you why I think it's okay. I think it's good because it's going to keep offenses on their toes. I think that, you know, there's not a lot you can do, because if you know that D.Slay is going to be in the CB1 position, cornerback 1 position, you know, and then he's like, okay, if he's playing man, he's playing zone, then you can game plan for him. But you can't really necessarily game plan for him if he's in the slot. You can't, if you're an offense and you're thinking, well, I can get him off of Slay and put him in the slot, and then have everything in the middle open. Now you can't do that, because Slay is going to be following him. Now you're going to have to trust your other, if you're an offense, you're going to have to trust your wide receivers to beat. Now, I don't know who would be on the outside, but I imagine it would be between, you know, let's say cornerback 1, Avante, Maddox, or Sidney Jones, or cornerback 2, Avante, Maddox, or Sidney Jones. Either way, you're going to have one or two, or both of those guys on the field if D.Slay is playing in the slot, right? So, you know, and if they're playing in big nickel, they're going to have safety help. They're probably going to have one safety, you know, helping or acting as a linebacker. But regardless, is that they're going to have some sort of help over the top. So if they do get burned, they'll have help. Now, I just think that at this point, man, like, even though it may not sound like a good plan, you know, with that being said, man, I just think that, you know, if they do it that way, if they do it right, they all they have to do is play at least solid. And, you know, it could definitely work. So, I mean, with with Jim Schwartz and his insight and the way he's thinking about the defense, man, I can get down with that, man. I can totally follow what he's trying to do. So, you know, I just think that we have 2 good cornerbacks, right? Or projectively good. We know Avante is solid in zone coverage and in man coverage. We've seen what Sidney can do, you know, basically the good stuff that he can do. We've seen his bad, but we also seen his good. We know that he could play zone and he can play man. So, I mean, with those guys on the outside, man, I honestly, as long as they show up and show out, man, I do not see, like, any reason why these guys, you know, that Schwartz couldn't implement this defensive scheme in a game. I know there's a cornerback battle. He also stated that there's a cornerback battle between Sidney Jones and Avante Maddox for the CB2 position. And really, I've already covered this in another video that I want Sidney Jones to win, but Avante Maddox, if he wins, that's great. Like, I still stick by that. That was another video that I did and covered that in it. So really, I'm not gonna really say too much about that, other than, you know, may the best man win. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we have 2 of the corners that can play those positions. So, you know, let's let it rock and roll. Now, his statements, Jim Schwartz's statements about the defensive line and Malik Jackson possibly playing the defensive end position. Well, he played that last year. Even though he was hurt in week 1, if you watch that week 1 game, he was lined up in the defensive end slot, you know what I'm saying? Or in the spot. He was there, though. And I think that was where he ended up injuring, or got that Liz Frank injury when he was at defensive end. Now, he's come out and said that he doesn't necessarily want to play, or he doesn't want that to be his primary position. He doesn't want to play it a lot at defensive end, that he's a defensive tackle and he does his best work there. But, I mean, you know, with the potential that we have between him, Cox, Hargraves, and even Hassan Ridgeway, who's shown that he can be, if nothing else, a good run-stopping defensive tackle, then, I mean, we're solid up the middle. All we need is Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett to come through, and if we sub in Malik Jackson between those periods, man, that's, you know, all that does is give us the opportunity to, you know, to have more disguised rushes, you know what I'm saying, or you know, how we can attack differently from the defensive line position. Schwartz's outlook on the defensive scheme, yeah, it could backfire. It could backfire, and the safest thing to do is to just have D.Slay playing on the outside, man or zone, and that would be, you know, that's all she wrote, right? But, I mean, really, like, if the defensive line can play above, like, if it could play solid or even above that, if we get above that, that would be great, right? But let's say they get quarterback pressures, right? if we can at least get to quarterback and pressure him and get him off his game, you know what I'm saying? Then the cornerbacks don't have to cover for long, and really that could lead to turnovers, right? That could lead to interceptions. It could lead to tip passes and for an interception. And if the defensive line can eat, man, they can get sacks and then or sack fumbles or whatnot. Either way, it could all be one great show out for the defensive for the defense, right? So I mean I'm looking forward to it, man. If these guys can go ahead and eat, and you know, however, if he really plans on doing that, if it works, man, I mean, he's really just gonna shut us up, and you know, we're gonna love it either way, as long as it's working. He may not like it when we hate it and it doesn't work, but you know what I'm saying? Like, all it is this: just make sure it works, and we all good to go. The defense, everybody got to do their job, and if they do, you know, watch out, man. So I'm excited to watch this defense out on the field. Obviously, if we can get out on the field, if there's going to be NFL football. But, I mean, really, I just can't wait, man. I can't wait. So, I mean, you guys let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think Jim Schwartz's scheme, what he put out or what he said in the press conference, do you like what he said? Do you think it'll backfire in his face? Would you like him to do something different? You know what I'm saying? Or just keep Slay on the outside and that's all she wrote? Do you think the defensive line will eat? You know, how do you feel about his thoughts on the defensive line? And, I mean, really just let me know in the comments what you think overall, you know. So, I mean, that's really all I got to say, guys. As always, go Birds and EAGLES, Eagles, and that's what's up. You guys take it easy. Peace.
In the battle, I'm lethal. Nigga too sweet and low, you ain't